quick video about Webull's screeners. They're not necessarily scanners, but Webull screeners. And then just to kind of go over my general Webull setup. I don't trade on Webull. I use Webull as a screening platform and a watch, kind of a watch list platform as well. But I use their level 2 orders on the books, and then their level 2 depth of market, the BBO the NBBO level 2 depth of market, which is phenomenal, works really great. But we'll start with going over Webull's custom screeners. So these are my custom screeners I've built here. Excuse me. And it's taken me some time to try to figure out and trial error with them. I haven't located, or I'm unaware of if Webull has some video editorials on them, on their screeners, or any other things, and they might. I'm just unaware of where they're at. But for now, I'm going to talk about my screeners. I'm a Warrior Trader student. I'm a beginner student. I'm not a tro trader by any means. I'm just kind of turning the corner between break even and becoming a profitable trader. And I'm at the phase of my learning curve where it's time. I've been a Warrior Trading student now for 2 years, or just under 2 years. It'll be 2 years in February. And I'm at the curve of the training, the part of my training where it's time for me to try completely trading on my own, stepping away from Ross Cameron, trading live with him every day. And I'm not using his scanners anymore. I'm just going to see how I do. And I am doing really, really well with Webull scanners. And I am very impressed with, I do the daily recap Ross puts online every day. And I look at what Ross traded versus what I traded and see if I'm lining up with him. And I am I am on the money. I can find stocks just as fast as Ross, but not, Warrior's Trader scanners are absolutely the best. Absolutely, hands down. But as far as value for your money, Webull's taking it for a run for its money because it's close. I say I would find a stock moving within 30 seconds of it moving to maybe 15 seconds. So they're just off of Webull's scanners and my criteria. There's no alerts here. There's no ping like Warrior Traders scanners will ping. But just off of me doing my due diligence, knowing when to look, top and bottom of the hour. But with further ado, let's get into my scanner. We're going to start with my pre-market session because I am a momentum trading, small cap momentum trader. I'm a day trader. And so, as you know, I mentioned Warrior Trading. So my criteria is pretty much Ross's criteria. He is my mentor, my teacher, and I have such great respect and really thank God for Ross and him being so open to letting us pretty much see his world, hear what he thinks, and just sharing all the knowledge he knows of the market, which has just been priceless. It's great. It's definitely well worth the price. I'm just doing this to, because I had this fear of, being without Ross, without his scanners. So I decided to go head first into that fear and jump completely on my own and see how I do. And I am doing really, really well. No doubt to definitely from Ross's teachings and of course my own willingness to exercise discipline is probably the main factor. But okay, into the scanner. First, I'm going to modify my scanner. We'll just go over it really quick. I'm going to kind of go over pretty quick how I set my screener up. It's not a scanner because it doesn't necessarily scans all markets consistently. It's kind of a screener, and we'll get into that here in a second. But I like to trade anything over $2. I don't trade anything under $2. So I set the minimum to kind of cast a wide net. I don't trade anything over $17, but once again, to keep it a wide net. Sometimes I might get in something's just really ripping up. I'll trade it into the 20s, sometimes the 30s. Because sometimes, rarely, but it does happen. Something might go 2,000% up, 4,000% up, and I don't want that not showing up on my scanner. So my last price is $1.20 to $50. The percentage change may vary depending on the type of market we're in. You can see you want to make sure you're always trading something that's obvious. So this is just the top gainers in the entire market scanner. It just shows you what's top. No criteria on this besides, I like to see the free float, the volume. I did set this one up. You can go in here and choose what you want to see. I don't understand this spark line. Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if anyone understands that, it'd be nice if you can direct me to a video, kind of leave a comment down below to let me know where and what this means, because I don't know what this means. I couldn't make any sense of the spark line at all, so I just took it off. It's been years too. I don't know. I couldn't make. I studied that for a while. Just couldn't make any sense of it. Nonetheless, I took it off. So this is what's important to me, and this is how you can organize what's important to you. Click on here, what you want to see. You click on, take it off, put the order in, click OK, and that's how you organize this top gainer scanner. And you can click this little button here, and you can see the top losers if you want to see that, and click on it, and then you see the top losers. You click on the column you want to be organized by, and it'll do that. But I don't short sell, so I don't care about top losers. I just top gainers, and that's it. So as far as the custom screener is, in order to find the custom screener, you go click here, click add new widget, and the screener's here in my list only because it shows me what you previously used. But if you don't see what you're looking for, click all widgets. And then the screener will be in trades, I believe. No, it's not. You just gotta kind of look through these toggle menus and try to figure out. There's news. Okay, it's in here somewhere. General. There it is. You click add. There you go. You get in here, but then you gotta build it. So that's how you find it. Oh, let me just go and continue the example here. So you click it and you're like, well, how do you get it where you want it? You just kind of hover over it, and then once you're over the window you want, you kind of click, and that blue line is where it's going to go. See the top, the left, or the bottom, or the center, which means it'll take up the same. See, I got another screener just showed up there, which is something we don't need. So I can click on this screener, click here, and click remove screener. So it takes away that last one that just popped up. I'll go back to this screener. So we'll start over, go to my custom screeners. So with my criteria, the percentage change, the volume, I keep the volume 0.001, shows me any stock that has 10,000 shares of volume running into it. To make sure you don't put like 1 million or 2 or 5 million or 50 million or 100 million, because once it hits 100, it'll jump off your list. You don't want that. You can never have too much. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Excuse me. It can never have too much volume. So you wanted. I think this is 9 billion or something like that. 99 billion. I just clicked 9s and did a bunch of 9s. You just massive volume. Very important key thing I just learned. So you don't miss anything moving. Make sure you put free float. Make sure you put the free float as a scanner, as a screener. If you're going to be a momentum day trader, it's going to be very important. But make sure you put this as 0, because you can never have too low of a free float. But to anyone else having different criteria, there's no winning philosophy. There's thousands of ways to be successful in the market. So if you find your strategy is doing this a different way than I'm doing mine, that's totally fine. If you like to trade stocks, I trade stocks a minimum free float of 0 up to 20 million free float. I learned a valuable lesson, and it was a pretty strong impact on me, a significant impact on me turning the corner, is using the discipline to do not trade something over 20 million shares, no matter what. Because I've come to discover it took a long time of price action and watching price action to finally be able to see that when stocks are above 20 million, 25, 30, 40 million shares and above, the price action is just very different than a stock that's, low, 5 million, 2 million, 10 million. Once it starts getting closer to 20 million, the price actions, you'll start noticing the difference in the price action. And it really helps me being turning that corner to becoming a profitable trader, just sticking to that rule. So what I do is very simple, is if it's not on this list, I do not trade it. And you got to refresh. Okay. Right now I am not liking the list. Oh, because I did pre-market. That's what's wrong. Okay. Anyway, we'll go back in the pre-market list. We'll talk about the filters. It's very important too. This is another very important note. If you want the screener to work correctly and dependably, which it does, I've been using it for a while every day for almost 4 months now. 3 months on my own, completely not with Rost. I wake up, do everything. I pretty much rely on Webull. And it works. Just make sure if you're trading pre-market, you have this box checked, and do not check the percentage change box and have these both checked at the same time. You see how it pops up here, percentage change. Make sure you don't do that. It's very important. Because you'll miss stuff, and they for some reason conflict, and I don't know the technicals behind it, but from my experience, if you want a dependable, a reliable, and accurate screener, you're going to want to make sure if it's pre-market that you have this. If it's pre-market or extended hours, you have this extended hours box checked. If you're trading market hours, be sure this is unchecked and you have this percentage change checked. And then it's very reliable. So if you're having issues, if you notice that a stock meets your criteria that you have set here for your screener, and you see that stock popping or moving over here or on another screener like Ross's, and you just can't find it over here, it's likely because you have this checked here and you got pre-market extended hours checked as a screener, and you're actually trading during market hours, or vice versa. You have the market hours percentage change checked and you're trying to trade pre-market. It doesn't work. You got to have one or the other, and if you have them both checked, you're going to be twice as messed up. So another thing too I discovered in my experience is if you check the exchange or the sector, and even if you click all, you go down to, so if you go in here and you go into the exchange and you click all, you say, oh, I just want to do it all, and click sector, all sectors. There will be symbols that won't show up in your screener. I don't know the technicals. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, how they decide. But if you want everything, if you don't want to miss anything, it greatly lowers the probability of you missing anything. Just don't check them. Just leave this check, but you can't uncheck that. They don't allow you to. So just don't check these at all. Leave them. In my experience, and like I said, it's been 3 months every day. I'm a full-time trader. I'm up early every morning at between probably 5 and 6:45, somewhere in there. I give myself a nice little window to get allocated before 7, before most other traders get online. I am using CMAG, overseas broker. That could be another video. I use CMAG, an overseas broker, which I use their C-Pro platform, which is an absolutely phenomenal. They've just done upgrades, and I'm not trying to promote them or anything, but it works really well. Their execution speed is just phenomenal, and I've been getting some really good price action, like price improvement. Like I've noticed when I go back and I record all my trades, and I go back and redo my review, and I look at where I bought and where I wanted to get in at versus the price actually got me. I noticed they're getting me better prices than what I'm trying to get, which is, it's phenomenal. So I don't have any complaints about them. Yes, there's things they need to do and work on, but for the most part, it's 90% working out pretty well for me using their platform. Okay. Another thing too, while we're discussing the indicators, I try to use technical indicator VWAP, volume weight average price. So when it breaks VWAP, when the signal line crosses, to give me an indicator, then I just couldn't figure out why this wasn't working. Then I realized that they base all these indicators down here, every one of these indicators, off the daily chart, which to me doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're a swing trader or you're a long-term investor. You pretty much rely on the daily chart, would be the most important time frame for you. But if you're a momentum day trader, that's just not going to work. You need I sent Webull a message to their support team to update these to allow you to choose the time frame that these indicators are working on, and they said that they would consider that and possibly add that to a future update. It was really great that they responded to my request, and maybe they'll do it. Be great, because it could be a real game changer. And in fact, I say if Webull does do that, and for instance, you can set an indicator to give you a technical signal like a ding or a bell. If you want to know when the MACD crosses on the 1 minute, or maybe trim it down to the 30-second chart, that can give you kind of an edge to see what's moving and to catch the momentum right when it starts coming in. It could be really a game changer there. But right now, all these are set to the daily chart. So if you're trying to figure out why you can't really make these work as a momentum day trader, that's why. That's what I discovered. So I simply don't use them. Anyway, so if we go back into my screener and we look at my market, that was pre-market screener. If we look at my daily market, doing market hours, it's pretty much the same thing. I do cast a wider net for price, because sometimes the price can really swing up. So even though I don't trade anything once over 20, because it's just way too volatile, the risk is extremely high. And in the past 2 years, I've sustained some just unbelievable, terrible losses trading stocks above 20. And now that I've stopped doing that, my losses have been definitely so much more manageable. All the other indicators are pretty much the same. Besides, you got to make sure, like I said, you got to have this checked. So go to the filters. You see that I don't have this extended hours checked. You got to make sure you have this percentage change check. That's very important. If you have this messed up, your screener will not be reliable at all. So don't get upset with Webull or me. Look at the mistake you're making and correct it, and live long and prosper. But okay, I like to keep the percentage change I look at a little higher during market hours, because as you can see, the percentage is a lot higher. If you would have sat down earlier today around 6:30 to 7 a.m., the highest market percentage gainer was like 44 or 50%. It was pretty low. So that's why my screeners for pre-market, I set it lower, 8%, because things are just starting to move, versus my screeners at market hours. I actually probably raise this up based on how high everything is right here. You see 30, 20. We get a lot of stocks above 20. There's a lot. So what I do is set it to 20. I'll just go in here and manually set it. You can just type whatever you want. You can use a sliding indicator here, but as you see, it's pretty tight there. It's pretty tough to do. So what I do is type 20, move the cursor over. Oh, look at that, I messed that up, didn't I? Period, enter, and then it changes. You can see it immediately changed. You can click save, but you don't need to click save every time you enter something. Like if you get on here and you change something, and you just hit enter on your computer, and then you just click this arrow, and the changes are already in fact, that's another issue. I'm not a very smart guy. I might have took the long way to figure this out. Someone else might be more intuitive to this computer stuff, and maybe someone that's not so intuitive. So I want to say where I struggled at, that maybe some other people might be struggling at too, was I didn't understand how do you implement once you change something. I'm like, well, if I change this to the free float of 50, which would be 50 million, it's always millions. You see how this toggle just moved here too. And it's like, has it implemented? Is it working? So I think I got to hit save. No, you don't have to save. Once you hit enter, you just press this arrow. Oh, it's working. Nothing showed up. So I'll make sure I put that back, put it to 0, and then hit enter. You can kind of see that flash in the background, and you can see these lines that showed up. Hit it. Oh, look, it's working. But so you don't have to save it every time. But if you click save, it will save. It will change this thing here. And if you want to copy it, you can hit copy, and it copies it. And then see it marked it as copied. And I don't want to copy it, so I'll delete that one because we don't need an extra one. But that's, you can set it to your likings. So we'll go back to the market hours, and that is pretty much it. If I may or may not have left some things out, but there's a few things I want to tell you that I've learned, the shortcomings of Webull, which is very, very important if you want your screener to work reliably. Another thing you must remember, so it's very important that you do not forget the percentage change. So we'll go over that one more time because it's super important. that if you're trading pre-market, make sure this is checked and this one is not checked. If you're trading market hours, make sure market hours percentage change is checked and this one is not checked. So therefore you will need to make two screeners, one for pre-market and one for market hours, just so you can change it really quickly. Or you can go into and edit. You can make one screener and just edit it every time you decide to log on, which whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. But either way, that has to be done or it will not be reliable at all. And the last factor in making it reliable is, oh man, I messed that up? Hold on, let me fix this real quick. We're gonna go 20% it, enter that. Okay, there we go. Okay, the last factor is, unfortunately, this is a downfall of Webull. I have emailed support, and this is one issue they have not responded to me on, is that if you want this to be reliable, let's say if you are a warrior trading student or follower looking to maybe cut some cost and use Webull a little more efficiently, you set your screener up. It's important that you use this refresh button. I particularly look at the top and bottom hours, and I trade news. So when it gets like 5 minutes to top and bottom hour, I just go here and I click and I refresh this. You see how this list flashed, but this one didn't? Because this list is constantly updating every 2 or 3, 4, 5 times a second. This list is not. So you have to click manual refresh, and that's why you need to cast a wide net to try to catch something moving. See? And I don't know why Webull don't automatically refresh this. It could be me. It may be something I am unaware of. So if you know that something I'm doing wrong, please comment below and help me fix this, because this is horrible. So what I end up doing for this, so I don't have to constantly keep clicking this with my mouse, what I did was I went into my hotkeys. And I went to hotkeys, I went general, and I refresh. Mine's Command R. I have a loop deck where I trade off a loop deck. Is pretty awesome. So I got a quick action button on my loop deck that I can hit really quickly, efficiently. And I have my parameters set up, and if I know around the top bottom of hours is when news come out. I trade breaking news before the market. I do most of my trading pre-market because that's when most of the news, 90% of the time, that's when news is coming out. By the time market hours come, it's rare that news, it does happen occasionally, but more often than not, news will show up during pre-market. So that is critically very important. So you want to try to get in the habit. If you're going to use Webull, use it to its full capabilities, if, to save yourself some dividends. Because warrior trading is, I believe if you're not a member, it's $200 a month, like $197, something like that. But if you are a member, I am a member, I have to pay. Well, if you become a pro member, you get the charts and scanners, which are straight up, they're the best ever. If you're on the fence about paying for it and it's in your budget, you're not going to be upset. It's going to be well beyond worth the money. But if you're on a budget and you're trying to really, get your burn rate down to as absolutely low as possible, is kind of where I'm at. And it's probably where a majority of us are at, especially if you're a new trader, because expect to lose. Don't come in thinking you're gonna. I just say if you do come in and you're Warren Buffett it and you're Ross Cameron it and you're out here gunslinging and picking up money left and right from these high frequency algorithm traders, you're a beast, and go for it, and hats off to you. But for the rest of us, we're going to be on a budget, and you're going to have some losers, and you're going to have to kind of get used to that, because honestly, I lose every day. We all lose every day. You just keep your losers small and your winners big. And if you keep your losers very small and far and few between, and keep your winners big and very often, you become a profitable trader. And keeping your burn rate down low as possible can keep you in the market as long as possible. So this may help out. I'll go over quickly. So that's the screener. I can't remember if I went over this part where you can change and you can set this up. And if anyone know what the heck this spark line means, I don't know what this is. What is that? I've been staring at that for years. I have no idea. So if you can comment below and explain that to me. I don't know what this is. This spark line, what it represents. I know, is price action? I've been staring at it and it doesn't really show price action. Does it show price action over the last 3 months or the month? What? I don't know. Anyway, so that'd be great if you comment on that below. I would definitely like to get some insight on that. But nonetheless, I keep it very minimal. I want to look at this screener quickly as possible. And this is how you can set the order up for whatever goods for you, for me, and for my style of momentum trading. I like to know percentage change, price, volume is extremely important. And just the first simple name. You can go and do the whole name if you want. Do however whatever floats your boat, go for it. But that's how you get in there and trade it. But like I said, I want to make sure you know to don't forget the critical things I talked about, which is the I'll go over them real. They're so important. I'll go over them one more time, which is the percentage change. Make sure you don't mess up the pre-market and market hour percentage change, because that you will make this scanner very frustrating. You'll be cussing and want to throw your computer at the wall. Not that I've done that or was ever there, but you know where I'm coming from. And the refresh button. Webull, come on, really? I know, right? That's silly, but nonetheless, it's still the problem. You know, so I would suggest doing a hot button, or if you have a loop deck or something, or whatever works for you, just make sure you refresh the page. If you're a high momentum trader, if you're a momentum trader like myself, and you like to trade breaking news, you're going to want to be hitting that 5 minutes before the top and bottom of the hour, and just get in the habit of just every minute, every 30 seconds hitting it. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to hit it like consistently and keep hitting it, and you don't have to be obsessive with it, but just be aware that you need to do that. And now just to go over my layout. If you're looking at it like, well, what is this? How does he doing this? Okay, I like to see what is the top gainers in the overall market. I like to know what's going on. And of course my scanner, I only trade if it's on my scanner. It took me a long time to learn that discipline, but you lose enough, big enough, you get hit in the face hard enough, you're gonna stop doing it. So I learned to only trade. So in this scanner, it lets me know anything that shows up on my scanner, the float is under 20 million. I will not trade something with a float under 20 million. And to go to this here is the BBO. I like to look at this because it lets me know the depth of the market. It lets me know if something's thickly traded. This one's, you can see if it's thicker on the sell side, thicker on the buy side. You can, you kind of know what's going on with the stock. Look at that one. What was that? Dharma. Look how thick that is. The buyers and sellers are really stacked. Look at 38. See how thick they are at 38, 35. They're stacked thick. So this lets me know this probably ain't gonna move a whole lot. Probably not a stock that I'm gonna try to do a momentum trade in. I did actually get a trade on it earlier today. And this screener caught it. I caught it in this first candle right here. I should pull my trades up. Let me see. Actually, I haven't even trades. Yeah, see, I traded it right here. I didn't do super well on it, but didn't do too bad either. All right, so you can see where I first found it. Move this over just a little bit more. There we go. So I first found it right here at 7:12 a.m. So that's when I first found it, at 7:12. When did it pop up? Ah, look at that, 7:10. So that means that Webull Scanner, it pulled it up and I found it. And I traded and did, and I wouldn't go bragging that I'm some great, awesome trader and I'm going to be the next Ross Cameron. And no, of course not. But, look, progress. Found it, and, did a little, got some profit on it. Not, I'm not buying a new Lexus or anything. So, but nonetheless, I see a lot of green there, small red. Little $6 loss, but little wins, nothing huge. But this is all only using Webull Scanner. Everything I found here, this is all Webull Scanner. So this is the trades I took today. I'm $47 green. I would show you, but I don't want to show my account information, and my broker doesn't hide that. I gotta get in Ed and do a bunch of other stuff, so I'll just show what I traded here real quick, but that's not what this video is about anyway. I just thought I'd show that this scanner actually does work, using it live. Now to continue going over my layout with Webull here, Okay, so first I do is, like I talked about, the overall market, and then I look at my screener, I look at my criteria, percentage change, price, volume, and then I need to, whatever I click on, these windows are all lined up. See it, the next thing I look at is float. I know that anything under in here is 20 million, but I just want to see how low or close to 20 million it actually is. Next thing that's very important that actually dictates where I trade it or not is the volume. It needs to have at least 5 times higher than its average 3-month daily volume. That's what this is right here. And if you want to create this yourself too, you can just click in any of these little lines, 3 lines here. It doesn't matter which one you click on. Click on any one you see on your charts, even this one over here. Click on this. We'll click this one because it's easy in the middle. You click to add widget. And if you want quotes, you go to quotes, but if it's not in your window, you click all widgets down here, and this window comes up. And you look for the toggle in here that has your quotes window. There it is right there. You click on that and it comes up. It's not going to come up the way mine looks. It's going to come up pretty with everything. And to get it to look like this, where I'm all about minimalist, to only show me information I personally need. I don't need to see all kinds of other stuff. Only stuff that I care about, that I want to see. So to get this list customized to only you, now you can't change this big green and this little stuff, but you can change all these little things down here, which you click on these 3 and you click edit quotes. And now you can customize this bottom part down here to where you can see that I got mine only showing these 4 things here. This is what I care about. Like I said, it's all about efficiency and speed. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with a bunch of data, because you'll find yourself looking over the data and you miss the move. And then you realize, like, oh man, this meets my criteria perfectly, but you took too long to analyze. So you want to make it efficiently, quickly as possible, and start training yourself to go over every one of these before you take a trade. Does it have 5 times relative volume? Check. You already know if you have the scanner up and the float's under 20 million. Check. Okay. What other criteria? Does it have news? And this is why I use Webull. I can go over these things really quickly, and it takes me probably a second and a half to go over this. The next window is what, hopefully I explained that clear enough, where you can go and you can move these around. You can click which one you want. You scroll down. Like I said, the only problem there's no problem here. You just move it, tailor it to your custom, the way you like it. This is the news window. The news window is really great. This is a phenomenal feature of Webull. The news window, I love it because you can click this little like notepad here, click on that, and that's how your little news window pops up. If you see like a little news like alert, you click on that news alert, you get this window that pops up, and you can have Webull read that to you.
Director Forrest T. Reynolds reports disposal of Ascent Solar Technologies, Inc. Common shares Forrest T.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. That pops up. So now I'm clicked into this. So now this BBO is changed to this ASTI. You can see this is ASTI here. It shows me it's got a 4 million share float. Today it's got 2.8 million shares volume, which is kind of low for ASTI. It's kind of weird. I traded that earlier today. Did I? Maybe I didn't. And nonetheless, the average 3-month daily volume is 1.3. This does not meet my criteria. You can see, that's why I have it stacked on top of each other like this, so I can easily see, does this have 5 times relative 3-month volume? It does not. I won't trade it. I won't. If I feel tempted or FOMO into it, I will take it off my list and stop looking at it. That's just something you got to learn to do. What I had to learn to do. Where'd it go? Oh, ASTI is gone. Anyway, so another thing that I really like about Webull is you can click on this news window and the same thing will pop up, and you can have it read to you. So I like that because I don't have to take my eyes off my scanner.
Shares of Ocean First Financial Corp.
That's what I love.
NASDAQ, OCFC, fell sharply during Tuesday.
And another thing about that too is, so that's really super convenient. And another thing about this too is and this happens to me all the time, you'll read the headline and you don't know what they're talking about. They use these technical words. You're not quite that savvy with the technical words they use. There's a little AI button here. You hover your mouse over it and it gives you a layman's term breakdown. And they give you a warning that it's just AI and sometimes they make mistakes, but my experience is pretty on the money. Rarely it breaks it down into layman's terms where you can kind of understand a little better what's going on, what's really happening with this company, what is the news that's posted. And you can see it shows you how long ago the news posted. You can scroll down, and this is for this particular symbol, ASTI. All these windows automatically populate to ASTI, whatever I click on. The way I do my setup, well, let's go back to ASTI, and you can scroll down, you can see all the news that came out. Like today, this is which sometimes they just post that the stock is actually moving, which is technically not news related to the stock, personally to the stock, which can be a little deceptive. But nonetheless, that's really great. And the way I use and then I guess I should talk about my layout here. These are all 5-minute charts. This is kind of if I put it on my watch list, the way I do it is I click in the middle. The middle chart I use kind of if I'm going to look at something really quick. Like I want to go down my list, I'll click in the middle and I'll change the middle. And if it's something I want to watch, like, whoa, EKSO it's doing pretty good. I'll click up here and I'll say I'll put that up there and I'll click back in the middle. So now I have it up here to watch. And then anytime I click, oh wait, whoops, KSO, then I'll click back in the middle. Now anytime I click on something else, the middle one's kind of the one I'll scan with. And then I always keep the overall market here in the bottom left corner. I'll go over really quick how to set your charts up like this, which is really easy. I know it's very difficult if you're not familiar with it because it took me forever. And once I realized like, oh, that's how you do that. Oh, once you learn something, you don't forget. It's pretty easy now. So you go to this little menu bar up here and you can hover over, put your mouse hover right over it, and it'll kind of give you a little description of what it is and what it does. A lot of these features I really haven't used, like I hover over order flow. Because I don't trade on Webull. I just use it as my scanning platform. I do have an account and there's money in my account, obviously, to have it open. I have a little bit of money, but nothing, worthy of taking trades or anything. Not enough to be a full-time day trader. I would be hit with the PDT rule. And that's why I'm with CMAG, because it's a non-PDT broker, which is great. I don't want to get into C-Pro, but minimum, if you go C-Pro with CMAG, is $100. $100. Everyone has $100. $100, you get 6 times leverage. You get everything. And it's really great because their platform is only $29 a month. That's it. And honestly, that's the best. I'm not trying to promote C-Pro, but I am trying to promote Simulate Trading. Webull Simulator, is it? Yeah, they're paper trading. I'm going to use the word a little bit of garbage. If you need to do a simulator, I would recommend not using their simulator because it's not very good at all. But C-Pro Simulator from CMAG is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I took in video and I want to see how accurate is it compared to real trading, and you can't tell the difference. Between order execution, their algorithm they use is phenomenal. It shows slippage. It shows if you try to buy it and it's crowded, it gives simulation of how the actual AI systems treat your order. Like they'll skip over your order. They do. If you really look into the nuances of trading, you can see AI skip over your order, and it's so frustrating. I feel like it's cheating, but it's what they do. So you got to be aware of that if you're a trader. But nonetheless, we'll get back on point. I'm sorry, I'm off on a tangent. But if you want to set your windows up like I have, I'm not going to go over how to do how to set each individual chart up, but it's pretty intuitive. You can click on the grid format, and if you want to change your window layout, you kind of drag. If you want just one chart, you click this. If you just want 2, you click this one. But if you kind of want what I got, like 3 or 6, or you want the 9, you go and you click on it and it'll change it. And if you want all the symbols to match, you just click this and all the symbols match. If you don't want them to match, you unclick it and you can change it to whatever. This box can be the same symbol. Same thing with time. I do have most of them except for this one, so I don't have all the times matching, but if you want all the times to match, it clicks this and they all go to 5 minute, but I unclick this and you can change this one. I'll have this one be the SPY because I like to see overall market. And then I keep this time frame on the daily, so that's why I don't have the time frames lined up. And you can even do the crosshairs, where you click the crosshairs and you see the crosshairs move in all the windows, which is really kind of cool. If you're doing that kind of analytics, you want to look at a 1 minute chart and a 10-second chart and see what's going on, compare it. It's pretty cool. But I don't do that. It doesn't work for me, for my trading criteria. And I think I went over everything. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to leave a comment below, and I will do my best to respond in a timely manner. I think I went over this already. I don't see anything. I mean, there's a community here, which I just became familiar with today because people want to know my layouts. I've had several layouts. I guess we can look at my layouts real quick. Let's see, we can go to all layouts. So these are all when I go scroll down to my custom layouts. And these are the layouts I've had over years. I used to, you can see them really quick. These are my custom layouts. Oh yeah, you can toggle over here. This is a layout I use for just looking at the overall general market, which is basically the same thing. The same thing, these are scanners. This scanner here, I do use the MACD on the daily though. So this scanner here shows me the MACD positive on the daily chart. So this is a MACD indicator, but it only shows it's running off the daily. So it's not really helpful if you're trading pre-market or after hours. But any time the MACD crosses on the daily chart, it's going to hit this scanner. So I know that there's momentum going into it. Like I said, I don't really use it much. I don't really use this scanner much at all if I'm just kind of sitting the market super slow or I'm doing something else and I just kind of want to get a general idea of what's going on. I can click on it and check it out. This is you can organize these any way you want, move the order around by just clicking and dragging it. And if you want to change or add to these, up at the top left it says layouts. You go to all layouts. This window pops up and then you just click on these. I wonder if you can click and drag. Nope. You just click on them. You just add the button. Click the little add button here. Add to favorites or add, and it'll populate over here. I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess it up. And if I want to, a lot of times I do more due diligence. I'll look at the daily chart of a symbol and I like to zoom out. So it kind of gives me context of where can I expect, how high can I expect this symbol to go. So I'll click on this really quickly and look, and it's all about speed and efficiency. So I can always keep my time, so I can, because I like to know when I trade off the 1 minute chart. I guess if we were to look at my actual broker, we'll just glance at this real quick. So I trade off this chart here. I don't know if you can see that. I guess you can. I'm not going to resize it because I don't want to mess it up. But anyway, I trade off the daily chart, so I'm always keep that clock so I can see when the 1 minute is going to close. But nonetheless, I hope this can help someone out there, and you can be able to use Webull much more efficiently and effectively in your trading. And hopefully we can get this to help you lock up some great profits, get in and out of the trades quickly and efficiently. All right, if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'll be happy to spread it forward. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. Thanks a lot for coming checking out my video. Hopefully it helped you and can help you find success and hopefully navigate through Webull. I wish Webull had, a professional actually go through all their charts and everything, but if they have it, I don't know where they keep it. I can't find it. But until then, I'll post again soon. Thanks a lot.